All right, here's the intro. Mosquitoes and all.
Yeah.
You've arrived at the Texas to Tennessee podcast, your home for your favorite independent artists and a couple of guys you've never heard of.
Who?
It was Texas, it was Tennessee. It was what I had coming to me. You were unlike anything.
What's up, everybody? Welcome in to the Texas Tennessee podcast. Got to point out, thank you to Evan Boyer for the beautiful intro that he gives us, and Adam Hood for the laugh that always makes me laugh. We are live on Facebook and TikTok and YouTube, so thank y'all for tuning in. If you got any questions as we go on this thing, feel free to chime in. I don't think we mentioned that part enough, but the in real time chat is a pretty cool thing that you can do as far as asking your some artists some questions as you hear the conversation. So other thing we don't mention near enough is please subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen to your podcast, and we'll say this several times, the artists that are going to be on this thing, make sure you follow them on wherever you actually stream your music and stuff too. We're all guilty of listening to the music and not hitting the follow button,
Right.
because we don't think about it, but it's extremely important to their resume. But tonight we are Steveless, so who knows what's going to happen? You know, when Dad's away, the kids will play. So, but we got a special guest co-host, a veteran of the podcast, and holds the record for the best podcast setup of of the Texas and Tennessee podcast. Let's
All
see.
that credit goes.
Yeah, go ahead.
All that credit goes to Flint Window Studios.
Yeah.
I did it up at the podcast studio. Travis knows where I'm talking about.
Oh yeah.
Well,
It was
Dustin,
Chris
No, that's the
produced
place
it
to
all
do
and
it.
shooting from different angles.
yep. Dustin was episode number 24.
Oh
The
damn.
podcast. I
Nice. Heck yeah.
know. Crazy.
This is number
Uh,
what?
I don't know
239?
exactly. I don't know what this one's going to be. I just posted 239
Oh, okay.
yesterday morning. So this will be, like 249 or something to that nature. I really should have them counted out, but it just doesn't work out that way that way sometimes. But thank you to Dustin for hopping on, and Travis, man, thanks for coming on the podcast. And I'm as I said this before we hit the button, I'm glad you two you already know each other, and there's a history, and Dustin actually has like legit real questions that he's interested to find out about you.
Nice.
So this will be
Yeah, man.
really
Thanks
cool.
for having me. This is cool. I've never
Yep.
done anything like this, and man, I really dig the Lucero song for the opener. That's awesome.
Yeah,
Makes a lot of sense. Texas to Tennessee, it's a great band.
not everybody catches on to that. But as a Memphis guy, or right outside of Memphis, close enough to hear the gunshot sometimes. You gotta support Lucero. So and after all these episodes, they haven't sued us or anything yet. So
Nice. You got to just have them on.
trust me, I'm trying. But one of these days that'll happen. Ben or any of the guys would be extremely cool for me to have on this thing, no doubt. They're on the bucket list for sure.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, that's good. So let's talk about that real quick before we dive in the more stuff. What's your go-to Lucero song, then? I gotta ask that.
Man,
Not
I would
everybody
say
gets that intro.
Sweet Little Thing. It's probably my favorite Lucero song.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I got a good friend of mine is like a super fan. And honestly, I didn't really get into them too much. And then when I befriended him, I was just listening to it with him all the time because he plays records at his house, and we sit there and drink whiskey and listen, and yeah, I love him. I love him a lot. And he does the like a motorcycle tour. You know what I mean? Him and Oliver Peck will like you probably know about that, right? Them touring around on bikes and playing shows and giving tattoos and stuff. It's a cool thing.
They always you, I don't know if it's just because they've been around for so long or what, but they do seem to try to keep it as fresh as they can,
Yeah.
between merch and different specialty items and whatever, just different stuff. It's like it's never rinse and repeat with them, which is after all these years, I mean, that deserves some credit, really.
Oh, heck yeah.
Well, enough about them. Travis, if you don't mind, give us a little rundown of who the hell you are. Just
Okay.
whatever you want to talk about.
Yeah, I more or less grew up in Fannin County. It's like North Texas. Dustin knows exactly where that's at. I started playing music when I was 21. Started writing songs around 22, 23, and pretty much been doing it ever since. You know what I mean? Pursuing the music career at different levels from that time. You know what I mean? But we're kind of always writing and listening and loving music. It's a lifeline.
Gotcha. We'll dive into
Amen to that. Amen to that.
some of those points. But we'll start off with the famous Steve's pie question, and this will lead us down some different roads. So, the Steve's pie is a musical pie, and it's made up of 4 sections. It's the songwriting slice, the performance slice, the studio, and then all the rest of the shit, the socials, the oil changes on the van.
Okay.
All everything else that you might not have known was going to come into this section. But which one of those things is home for you?
I'd probably say I'd say songwriting. That's probably out of those 4 pieces. I'd say that's what I do the most. That's like an everyday thing,
Okay.
or every time you pick up your instrument kind of thing. I'm always kind of playing a riff I'm working on, or some words or something, just trying to come up with new material. It's the most interesting thing to do, I think. Wouldn't you say, Dustin? Writing new songs.
It's man. If I could live in the studio and just create music all day, just write
Yeah.
stuff and record it like this. Yeah,
Right.
I mean, I could live there. That'd be wonderful.
No doubt.
So that was that the first love? Or was performing the first love, and you had to go back to the songwriting?
No, the very first love was learning to play a couple chords, and then learning every Chris Knight song he ever made. That
Yeah.
was fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No.
Because that's what I wanted to hear, and that's what my friends wanted to hear, and he was just
I wish I had more friends like yours, honestly.
like all right, like listening to
Lucero
Chris
and
Knight
Chris Knight.
songs. Listening to Chris Knight songs is one thing, but when you play them and you're singing them and you're thinking about how he sings it, and it's just, if you like a songwriter that much, playing their music is just, I don't know, it's like not in a weird way, but you get closer to them that way. You know what I mean? You just kind of getting almost their head and sing their words with their chords and just kind of live it out. You know what I mean? That was probably the first love. You know what I mean? Learning my guys' songs. You know what I mean? So
I think we all just became best friends. Do karate in the basement now, but
man, you got a basement? Hell yeah!
actually,
We ain't got
no.
those here.
no, don't have too many here either. Not quite cold enough. All right, and I can relate to that. I'm not, I don't have a lot of original music or anything like that, but I do the corner stage barroom stuff, and whenever I can throw in some Chris Knight songs, that makes my night even better.
Nice.
And
What are your songs you like to play of his?
Enough Rope is like
Oh yeah.
that's my favorite, and I think because of the small town, that sort of thing. I haven't killed anybody, so I can't
Right.
relate on that one as much. I might have wanted to, but
Yeah.
But Enough Rope that's my go-to for me on him. What about you? I know Dustin's got one recorded. He's got one up on
Yes. Yes. I think he has two. Dustin's got two.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Y'all can hear me. You can't see me though.
It keeps coming,
you cut out every now and then.
I don't know what happened to me.
we
I don't know what happened to me.
We got you.
Okay, good. No,
Yeah, we got you.
I'm definitely the Chris Knight fan. That was something you and I had in common. We were both just enamored with his storytelling and his songwriting.
Yes.
It's second to none in my opinion, and he wrote songs about. He was the first one that wrote songs about people that I could relate to. You know
right.
what I mean?
Or at least, the first one we heard.
About Joe
for sure.
on the corner. Yeah. Just about the old rough characters I grew up around.
Yeah. Yeah, Dustin recorded. Let's see. I think you recorded "Bridle on a Bull," right? And then "River Road." Did you record both of those?
No,
I know you.
He said he recorded to Get Back Home.
Get Back Home.
No, that's all I recorded. I
Okay.
probably had some burn CDs back in the day of those.
Yeah.
Some old bootleg CDs.
Right. The one with like the paper label on top of the CD.
Yeah.
Man, yeah.
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 We had a bunch of those we gave out. Yeah.
What about Dustin? You got any? Since we're on the songwriting slice of pie, you got any questions for him on that part?
Yes. Everybody approaches it so differently. Is it melody or words first most of the time for you?
Man, I think it might be melody, because usually when I'll try to write a song, it's kind of something that I've already got guitar wise, and then put words to it. You know what I mean? But it's happened the other way around for sure. But I'd say melody if I had to guess. I'd probably say it was melody more than anything.
Man, I find that to be true. I mean, sometimes it's different in that. Also, you said you write every day. How do you capture what you write? Do you write it on paper with like a pencil, or are you a voice memo guy like me, or like what's your process there for capturing?
Man, I don't actually get to write every day, but that's back to the songwriting thing where we were talking about it being home for me. That's what I do the most. But yes, I do try to write every day, and I don't do a whole lot of writing things down. I don't do a whole lot of voice memos unless I'm trying to archive something and really kind of have it around to reference later. I just kind of put it. It just kind of lives in my head, I think. I just kind of keep everything there, because I kind of like, because that's kind of a natural filter too. It kind of like what sticks around in my head is kind of the better stuff. It tends to be, you know what I mean? If it's memorable, you know what I mean, I'll remember it, like kind of thing. But yeah. But I do write some stuff down, you know what I mean? Or just thoughts, you know what I mean? More of like a journal entry than anything, not really thinking about music or anything like that. But back to the melodic side of things, like it's definitely melody now that I'm thinking about it more, because the melody kind of determines the cadence of the vocals, and then the cadence kind of, then the words kind of come, like what words fit with the cadence and kind of flow with each other, and then of course whatever you're trying to say, you know what I mean, is in there too. But yeah, no, I don't write much stuff down. I probably should, but
that's something that
I don't either. So it's cool to hear that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's hard to write something down when we got a guitar in your hands. You know what I mean? It's like, I'll think about, like, I don't want to put the guitar down to write, because of the flow of things. I feel like it's going to be gone. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, just turning on the recorder, the voice memo is the way to go. But, you know, I mean, then you have like 50 minutes of stuff you got to sift through and find the nuggets. You know what I mean? But
Yeah, our guest last week was talking about something really similar as far as if it sticks around in your head and you kind of, if it's on repeat in your head, then you kind of feel like it's a keeper. It's
Yeah,
something worth
absolutely.
putting the time into. Is that what you're meaning as far as it being a filter?
100%. Yeah, exactly that. Yep.
I like that response.
Is that something you've done too, Dustin, as far as using that as a filter to see what's worth, sticking around or putting the energy into?
Man, like he said, I'm a voice memo guy, so I kind of I turn on my voice memos as I'm writing a riff or singing over the top of the one, and I might ran on for 10 or 15 minutes, but somewhere in there I'll have a line or two that like really worked out with what I was doing.
Yeah.
And then I kind of gather what is that line about, and then try to chase it from there. Very seldom do I sit down with like, I'm going to write a song about this story. Now that does happen from time to time, but very, very seldom.
Yeah.
What about the co-writer side of things? Is that a road that you've been down very much? And if so, how do you know when to get someone else involved in your song?
Man, I have been down that road. I haven't been down it very far, honestly. I haven't really done a lot of co-writing, really. But the co-writes that I've done are definitely, I feel like they're very productive, and I enjoy it. You know what I mean? But no, I haven't done it too much. I haven't done it much at all. But
Is
yeah,
it
it's definitely something that I'd like to
Same.
get into more for sure.
Okay. Is that just
Yeah.
because the opportunities haven't presented itself, or with the right songs, or?
The opportunities have definitely presented itself, but I think it's probably just more or less like my, honestly, just my follow through with it. Probably, I just, I don't, but yeah, no, I haven't done much of it.
I got you. So when I was listening to your stuff, and especially some of the live videos, there's definitely an Isbell thing going on there with some of the songs, and I was trying to think of why that came to mind so quickly, and I think it was like I'm trying to remember the song, the Isbell song, but it's where the words are. And I'm not musically smart enough to probably even comment on this, but where the words are literally going with the notes on the guitar, or the
Hmm.
melody on the guitar,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah,
that was something you had going on. Is Have you found those similarities between
yeah,
some
yeah,
of
and
his
like,
songs and what you do?
yeah, kind of like what I'm always kind of writing new stuff is very much on guitar notes, like
Okay.
singing with the plucked notes on guitar. That's kind of how I'm writing these days. It's very popular in like blues music, obviously, right? Like they're always singing on those riffs and stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, I really like rock and roll and stuff, and it's pretty prominent in that kind of music too. But yeah, Jason's a huge influence on me. Just as far as
I wish I could
on
remember the song I'm trying to think of,
no,
but
you're talking about the song that I did of his.
no, no, no. There's a song of his that reminded that some of your stuff had
Oh,
reminded me of one of
got
his
you.
songs. Not a cover
Yeah,
or
yeah,
anything, but just reminded me of like I said, the way that the vocals was on the notes. Um,
yeah,
and
yeah.
I got like two lines of the song in my head, and that's as far as I can
What
get
are
for
they?
some reason. See that girl.
Oh,
I'll have to look it up, but I can't remember. And that's gonna bug me. I'll
uh,
catch it like before we say goodnight.
I think it's
Probably.
Streetlights.
It is Streetlights.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it's Streetlights.
There
Yeah,
you
that's a
go.
perfect example of it. That's a perfect example of it. He wrote the guitar riff and then he sings the guitar riff. Like it's great. It's great. I really like his music, and as I've kind of, you know, evolved or just simply just kept on writing songs, he's kind of been the guy that I kind of go back to. He's like the perfect like manual to songwriting and to me, you know what I mean, that I would like go back and kind of see whatever he's doing. You know, I want to be trying to do that with pretty much everything. I mean, singing style, song subjects, guitar playing. He's phenomenal. So big inspiration for sure. This last song that I released actually referenced listening to a Green Hill Son. And he's from Green Hill, Alabama, and the song's about southeastern states and stuff like that. So it's kind of an ode to him a little bit, just one verse, not the whole song, but there's one little verse in there that kind of is a very strong Jason Isbell reference.
That's cool when moments like that can happen, even from a listener standpoint, because after this little story, Dustin, you take it on wherever you want to go. There's a guy that I met at a Jason Eady's festival named Andrew Duhan, and he's got a song called "Man on the Marquee," and knew the song, but when I got to see him live, he talked about this is loosely based on Adam Hood, and it's just talking about your guy, your independent guy rolling through town, playing to 20 people, packing up and heading on to the next town, and whenever he said this is loosely based on Adam Hood, and that night Hood was standing, the side of the stage watching his show, which was that was a cool moment to see in general, but still knowing the small tribute or whatever you want to call it in the song like that as a fan, it makes it even cooler.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, when I could fit that in there, I was like, this is it. This is a good line. He's my guy. He's a great writer.
All right, Dustin.
Love it, man. For how many years did you move to Austin for? You moved to Austin, Texas for?
Yeah, probably like a total of 7 years, probably. This last time was 3 years, and then I think the time before that was about 3 too. 2010, 11, 12 maybe, and then 21, 22, 23, maybe a little bit of 24. Living down there.
Okay, so my question there is, I feel like as a listener, when you came back from there, you had evolved. I mean, there was a lot of time in there. We all evolved, I guess. But
yeah,
I don't know, your sound. You really feel like you found your sound in Austin to me, and maybe that's just my perspective of it. But so I don't know. I've always been curious to what kind of things you got into down there and living in the crazy town and music town that it is, and what. I definitely hear the influence in your music in a lot of ways, but I just kind of tell us some stories about that time in your life and like how that kind of helped form the music that you made that day. That's my curiosity.
Okay, yeah, like the first time I moved down there was very early on in my career, like just a few years into singing and playing and stuff, and so that was like my open mic era. You know what I mean? And there was a ton of them. There's a ton of open mics, you know what I mean? So, yeah, so I think just like, open mics can be just a very wide range, because some open mics there's just a couple people. Some open mics there's a lot of the same people, you know what I mean? And these Austin ones were like just a ton of people, you know what I mean? All different kind of music and stuff, and just one or two songs, and it was just a more kind of like a throw and go kind of just get up there and do it kind of thing, which I liked. I liked that. I didn't like it at the time, but it was, looking back, it was good for me. You know what I mean? Just kind of go up there and not really have a whole lot of time to think about it. You know what I mean? Not have a whole lot of time to compare yourself to the guy before or after you, man. Just everybody's kind of doing their own thing. You're in a big ass city. You know what I mean? It's just like, it was just good to kind of just go for it. You know what I mean? And that was the first time. And the second time was not so much playing, but like going and seeing a lot of live music, a lot of stuff out of my genre. You know what I mean? A lot of dive bars, a lot of Texas swing, a lot of honky tonk kind of stuff. And yeah, I think it just kind of like just opened my eyes as far as like just the possibility of what kind of music one could play. You know what I mean? Because I still kind of get hung up on wanting to kind of be a little bit more cohesive with my stuff, and you know, down there it's just kind of like an anything goes kind of vibe. You know what I mean? So I was just more apt to just trying new stuff, playing with people that are like way out of my genre. You know what I mean? Trying to sing with them and learn their chords, and a lot of house party kind of stuff, a lot of going over and jamming with people and stuff like that. And yeah, it was just it really widened my palette, I think, for the music I consume, and as well as the music that I make. I think it was a really cool experience.
That's awesome to hear. That's cool. No, that's cool. I love it.
Well, if you could, because now you were talking about the wide palette, and now I want to know, like, if you could start a cover band.
Oh, cover band, okay.
Yeah, if you started a cover band, like, and you not the Purple Rain and not the Pour Some Sugar on Me, but if it's like stuff, no Tennessee Whiskies, if it's stuff that you want to play,
yeah.
What's some stuff that I mean, it doesn't have to be in any kind of genre. Whatever. What would you want to do?
Like a style of music, a singular artist,
or
what? It'd be single. I guess the cover band would be kind of like,
yeah,
it can kind of be anybody. Man, I don't know. I think like anytime I think about doing covers or anything like that, like, you know, I know I already mentioned this, but being in like he has enough material, like being in a Chris Knight like tribute band, like songwriter would be incredible. I think, you know, I mean, that would be really fun for me.
Dude,
you know, I mean, especially doing it with another front guy. You know what I mean? Like Dustin would be the perfect guy. You know what I mean? Like it would be, and so and like the rehearsals would be super short. You know what I mean? Like, because we just know them. You know what I mean? It would just be really fun. It would be really fun. And then second to that would be a Metallica tribute. 100%, because that was my first love for music. It still might be my favorite band of all time.
Really?
Yes. I love everything about that band.
What period of this band is your?
And it's very unpopular, but my favorite album was the Black Album. And that's kind of when
that was kind of my introduction. Age wise, that's me where too. That's where I picked up the train. I had to go backwards to find the other stuff.
Yes, I remember I was in Hastings with my stepmom, and I wanted to buy this CD. And I remember her calling my dad, and she's like, "He wants to buy this album, and it's just black. It's just black. It's just this black album." And she's like, "Oh, wait a minute. No, there's like a little snake in the corner." And she's like reading off the song titles and stuff. And my dad okayed it, and I bought that album. And that was kind of my first CD was the Black Album, same as you. And yeah, man, it was awesome. It was really cool. It's just exciting music, you know what I mean? Especially for like a rowdy 10-year-old kid, you know what I mean? It was like the perfect anthem for pretty much every day. You know what I mean? It was just exciting music.
Did they lose you with the load and reload, or were you just as in?
I kind of I went backwards once I found the Black Album. Then it was like Kill 'Em All, Ride the Lightning, and Justice for All. You know, I kind of started kind of finding out about who they are. You know what I mean? Like the earlier stuff, and I liked Load and Reload, and you know, Saint Anger and Death Magnetic, and I love it all. You know what I mean? I really do. I love it all. I love it all.
Huh? I got you. A lot of people have certain periods of it that they like that, but you know, I'm the same way. It depends on the day.
Right.
Depends on the day. And also, I grew up with Load and Reload. You know.
Yes. That was the 90s era.
That was my teen years, right? So that was what I knew. I had to find the other stuff. Anyway, Dustin, I got off on a different tangent on that one, but all right. So let's pick up the pie thing again. On the performance side of that pie, is
Mm-hmm.
that something that was always is that something you were always comfortable with, or something you always wanted to do?
No, I struggled with it for a long time, actually. Like, kind of it not being so miserable to go do because I was so, like, just worried about just anything you could worry about. You know what I mean? Like chords, lyrics, lighting, the crowd. I mean, anything. You know what I mean? It's just
Mm,
a lot of like kind of being in my head because it was kind of the first thing that I found that I did that was just really like personal. You know what I mean? And just really like I identified with it so much. You know what I mean? It was like you tend to want to kind of protect those things from anything really. You know what I mean? Just protect it. And yes, performing was a very difficult beginning for me. It was tough for sure. Different people are better at it. There are people that are just born to do that stuff, man. It's
mm-hmm.
really cool to see. You know what I mean? They just kind of have that. But it definitely got better, uh, more confidence and more just enjoying it. Once I felt my material got better, I kind of believed in it a little bit more. You know what I mean? I could kind of rely on the song a little bit more than if my pants were pressed or not. You know what I mean? It was kind of like it was just kind of the backbone of why you're even up there. You know what
I
I mean?
love
Like
it.
you gotta have a good product or, you won't even believe in it. So yeah, just kind of getting just liking my material better, I think kind of evolved me there. So
Was part of that worry other people's opinions, or just
probably, yeah, I would
I
say that.
understand.
Yeah.
I grew up in that stuff too. As far as my musical surroundings at an early age was not necessarily the positive side of musicians. You
Yeah,
know what I
yeah.
mean. So when
Oh
you
yeah.
find your tribe, you respect that tribe even more if you've dealt with the assholes and whatever else, and you know what I mean.
Right,
Uh,
right. And
all
I
the
felt like
different
I was coming up
characters.
really late in it. Like being
Mm.
21, you know what I mean, learning how to play at that age, it was like it already felt like I was kind of I don't know what it felt like. Maybe it was just no, I remember feeling some kind of way about that. Like, damn, I didn't start playing when I was 10. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
am I behind or something? You know what I mean? But but it's just yeah, it is what it is. Yeah.
What about you, Dustin? I'm not sure we asked you that question. What was performing? Is that a natural thing on your part?
Oh no, that like you said, that it took years, years of just doing it. I started at T-Bones and Denison at their open mic, and like he's saying, it was just more exposure, getting in front of those people, and in an open mic situation, it ain't really comfortable. So like, uh, I got better at it over the years. It definitely wasn't something that came naturally. When I first started learning to sing, I wouldn't come out of my room. I didn't even want my parents listening to
Yeah.
me. But that, but then you connect with somebody with a song you wrote, and they come up to you after crying about some words,
Hmm.
and and yeah, the song I wrote was about something very real. They might have, but it made them feel a very certain way about a completely different situation, and then it was like, okay, like that I love, like being able to relate to a person and convey my feelings and the emotions that I had at a certain point in time through music. That became a whole new game, and I became addicted to that then.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that is the most rewarding part of songwriting. I mean, that's what it's all about. We don't write these songs to just listen to them for ourselves. You know what I mean? When we're not necessarily really writing songs for other
Yeah.
people, but when you're so on the nose about a certain human experience, it is going to people are going to be able to identify with that. You know what I mean? It's really cool to find that, no doubt.
You
Yes. I
you both
agree.
can take this question. What do you remember the first time? that somebody, that wasn't, a family member or a friend, like somebody you didn't know, really listened to your song, or hit you at a show and told you about liking a song, or just that those little moments that you let you're doing something that somebody's connecting with. Do you remember the first time that?
I don't know if I remember the first time, but I definitely remember some of the earlier times. I had a
Right.
song called "Come Down" that was on my second album that I did, and there was a lady down in Del Rio who just like really resonated with the song, and she told me all about it, and she'd come to the shows and she'd always want to hear it, and it was really cool to like kind of just almost in a way like kind of give that, like to me, like she owned that song from there on out.
Mm.
That was like her song, you know what I mean? Because it was more or less like a hypothetical kind of situation I was writing on it. It wasn't as true to me as it was to her, you know what I mean? So it was kind of like I remember thinking that like the song kind of found its listener, you know what I mean, its person or whatever, and that was really cool. But yeah, I don't know if I remember the first one, but that was definitely early on, and obviously a core memory. I'm talking about it now, you know what I mean. It was a really cool experience.
Yeah. What about you, Dustin?
Yeah, that man. I think it was in high school. I got to where I finally would carry my guitar to school, and I remember several times that people had mistaken something I was playing for the radio. They come walking in the room, they was like, "Dude, we thought that was the radio," and I was like, "Oh, cool," So, but I was writing songs then, and a coach of mine really resonated with a song I wrote in high school. I don't even remember what the song was, but
Oh,
I
come on,
remember it
man, you
being
do.
really sad and terrible. So, no, it was oh man, I can't remember, something about Johnny and Johnny's dad. It was about a news deal or something on the news I had seen where this guy had beat his kid. It was a terrible story, but the
Yeah.
coach was like, man, I don't know, he must have had an abusive childhood. But he come in there with like tearing up, and I was like, man, like, so I mean, at a very early age, I was probably 16 when
Wow.
that was, or maybe even 17. But I remember it touching him, and like I said, it was a terrible song. I was like, oh man, I started to kind of feel bad for him.
Well, let's back up back up a little bit. I want to know, when did you decide that you had the songs that you wanted to put out there for other people to hear, as far as the recording was, and how did you get to that point where, or when did you get to that point where you're like, okay, I want to record this, I want to do this thing?
Yeah. So I started really kind of bouncing my songs off a certain kid that I grew up with. He's from Colbert, Oklahoma. His name's Caleb Mathis. And him and I, he probably still is. And it's ironic that Dustin's here, but we were just like really big fans of Dustin. I mean, he was here in the hometown, he was doing it, you know what I mean? And we would just I would just kind of follow what Dustin was doing, man. I went and recorded the same place he did, Greg White down there, and where's he at? Dallas,
SD
Dustin?
Studios, baby.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And
No, Fort Worth.
yeah, Fort Worth, Fort Worth.
Yeah.
That's right. So really, it was seeing Dustin playing out really like at Smitty's and stuff like that. That's kind of about the time I was coming up when Smitty's was really popping off. And yeah, just kind of like doing open mics and getting full songs done, and full songs that I believed in, and my friends were like, yeah, you know what I mean? And it's like, okay, well, where's the guy that we're kind of watching? Where's he going? He's going there. All right, then I got these songs, I'm gonna go record at that same studio and basically kind of follow suit, you know what I mean? I was like, I don't know, it's probably 20, 23 or something, 22 maybe. very early on. Like it was just a year or so after learning how to play. I told you I learned those Chris Knight songs, but like pretty immediately I started trying to write my own music, like really kind of right out of the gate. You know what I mean? And yeah, I got a lot of material that came to me.
That's
you know
something
what I mean?
I always admired about you. Yeah.
So, but yeah, man, that's yeah, kind of right out of the gate. That's when I kind of wanted to record and put it out there and just kind of see what happens.
I gotcha. When did you? So I mean, to me, it's really easy for somebody to well, I say easy. As far as writing a song and then just stowing it away, and never actually doing anything with it, or playing it at gigs, but never actually getting it on tape.
Yeah.
I could see where, that's one step, but another step is trying to, I say this and laughing because I know what you guys are going to say, but there's another to try to do this thing and make some money doing it, right?
Yeah.
Make a a career out of this thing, and I know that's a difficult thing to do for most of the folks in the independent scene, and probably one of y'all's biggest commonalities when you start having those conversations, right?
Right.
When did you decide that? When did you decide? I want to do some touring and actually try to get the music that I made. I want to get this out there.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of musicians and songwriters pretty much have the imagery and the ideal of them going on tour and singing their songs. Probably, I would imagine immediately. You know what I mean? To me, that was the ultimate goal over anything, was just being able to see the world, playing music. I mean, that's still my ultimate goal. You know what I mean? Before anything is just
the American dream.
Having a bunch of dates. You know what I mean? Just like, justifying seeing the world. You know what I mean? Through your art, like that being the vehicle for it. You know what I mean? Has always kind of been the number one goal, I think. Really, touring, absolutely.
Very special.
Is that something that you've been able to do quite a bit of since then?
Yeah, I mean, there's been years, where I worked with booking agents that were kind of the best years for that, as far as just getting a lot of shows. Getting in front of bigger acts was really nice. You know what I mean? Getting to play for their crowd. I actually loved opening shows because those were usually shorter sets. So you had hour, so it was like pretty much all the best songs. You know what I mean? You didn't have to fill nothing with songs you shouldn't be playing. You know what I mean? It was just all killer, no filler for the first hour in front of all these new potential fans. You know what I mean? That was kind of the best for me.
So when you're up there in front of somebody else's crowd, I ask this question quite a bit, but when you're up there in front of somebody else's crowd, and not everybody go, and I should point this out more when asking this question is I'm asking it because I encourage people to go for the opener, right? To go and experience somebody maybe they haven't heard before, because more than likely you're gonna be glad that you did,
all right?
And you get to go and meet them at the merch table and everything else. But when you're in front of somebody else's crowd and you see they're starting to pick up what you're laying down, what's that from your point of view? How's that feeling?
Man, that's the best feeling I feel like we can all experience, and that's acceptance. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, hey, they want me here. You know what I mean? Like I have, you know what I mean? That the chair's been pulled out for you to sit in at the table, kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like you're supposed to be there, and that's acceptance is as an artist, trying to share your art again, that's just another main goal. It feels great. Yeah.
Do you look at those shows differently than your solo shows?
Yeah, because like I said, it's just kind of an hour set, you know what I mean?
Gotcha.
And you know, those longer sets are a little bit more intimate, you know what I mean? You're playing some older songs. It's, you know, a little bit more stripped down. Maybe you're talking about the songs, you know what I mean? But those
Gotcha.
opener spots are cool too, because it's not your show, you know what I mean? Like, you don't go up there and like tell the crowd what every song's about, you know what I mean? Because it's just kind of not your show, which I like that, you know what I mean? Like, I don't really talk about songs too much. You know what I mean? Just it's not because I dislike it. I'm just not that good at it. You know what I mean? It's like, it's kind of why I wrote the song in the first place. You know what I mean? Like it's you know, it's kind of like,
if I wanted to talk about it, I wouldn't have wrote the song about it.
yeah, something kind of like that. You know what I mean? But people, I find out, and I think I found out kind of what people want to know about the songs is like, they want to know stuff like where were you when you wrote it, like physically. Like, were you like what town, you know what I mean? Or were you like what, you know, just what guitar, you know what I mean? Like they want to know those kind of like little esoteric things about your process, because that kind of gives them that fly on the wall kind of perspective. I think, you know, they want to get closer to you and know that kind of stuff. So that's cool. But yeah, that big difference, opening and having your own show for sure is dramatically different.
Yeah. Well, Dustin, you got any more questions for him?
Man, I love this dude. He's going to be at my River Jam last weekend in September there in Moyers, Oklahoma. Shameless plug for River Jam.
Heck yeah.
You can go to kriver.com and check out the campsite there that we will be hosting a 2-day festival. Travis is one of the artists I'm very excited about having on it. We've got,
last year was a blast.
25, I think we got 30 songwriters again.
Nice.
Over 2 days, a bunch of full bands. It's going to be awesome. But I'm very honored to be called his friend, and it's been awesome to play the same circles, and it's been awesome to be on here and hear more about it too. I've enjoyed this.
Yeah, heck yeah, yeah, man. And I'm grateful to call you a friend too, man. And you definitely served as a source of inspiration pretty much my whole career, man. That's awesome. I really appreciate you including me in all the stuff, and it's been great, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're all in this together.
Oh yeah.
Well, we got a few another question or two before we get to the rapid fire stuff. And Dustin, you can take this one too. You know, not all of this, y'all know this, but some folks listening to this thing might not realize it, but not everything is all, you know, roses, you know what I mean? Not everything is great in the independent world. How many times or have you experienced where you were just going to lay it all down and walk away from it? Have you
Go ahead, Dustin. You take this one first.
I know a little bit of Dustin's. Dustin had a time. Wow. Dustin was off for a bit, so I know a little bit of his story. But still. And then the backside of that is what brought you back to it. Go ahead, Dustin. You take the first one.
I never left. You know, music never. I never left music, or music never left me. Rather, does that make sense? Mm-hmm. I couldn't pursue it because life wouldn't allow me to at the time. I had some obligations that I had to take care of, but I never quit writing during that time. And it was a very formative time that I believe the good Lord drugged me through to teach me some things. At that point, I realized in my songwriting that it might be kind of important what I'm saying because my songs had a good chance of outliving me. Once I had that realization, I had a story to tell, and I had to get back out here and tell it. That way I didn't go through all that hell for nothing.
Hell yeah. Amen to that.
That's a great answer. Sorry, Travis.
Yeah. No,
I'm gonna follow that.
Yeah, my story's similar. I stepped away for several years as well. You know, for reasons, you know, who knows, but yeah, like music never left me. I always
But
wrote in all those off years. You know what I
it
mean?
wasn't a burnout time for either of y'all.
Mine was was
Okay.
a burnout situation. I had so much expectation and just so much like just pressure on I wouldn't even say just myself. It was just like making it music was a separate like thing that I was just kind of just unsatisfied with every single time as far as outcomes go of things, you know what I mean? And it just yeah, I don't think I was doing it for the right reasons. I was doing it for outcomes and financial reasons and clout and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And like anything, you know, if you're in it for the wrong reasons, you know, you will find the exit door or it'll find you kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
you just won't last if you're not in it for the right reasons, and that's kind of what mine was. But luckily, I just kind of kept writing, and kind of what Dustin was saying, just writing about that time, and you know, it's just the songs outliving us is a really profound thought for sure. That is something to think about, no doubt.
Well, this is
I
another
love it.
question that I've asked, you know, a bunch, and everybody's answer kind of intrigues me, and you kind of led right into this. So when I say you've made it, I know talking to you, you know, 15 years ago, this answer may have been different, but today, when I say, you know, Travis, you've made it, what is that? What is that to
Yeah,
you?
and I think it would be, you know, I think it would be just having a space in the art world. You know what I mean? Like
Mm.
having a space where it makes sense that you're there and you're bettering the art form. You know what I mean? Just knowing that, having that peace of mind, I think would be enough. You know what I mean? There's a lot of material things that come with that, as far as I say material, but more like experiences. Yeah, I want to be on a Prevost and I want to play 250 shows a year. You know what I mean? Like, of course, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, but just knowing that there's a place in the world for your art, and it's you know, people want it. I think I think that'd kind of be the ultimate gauge of success, I guess you could say, as a songwriter for me
Yeah,
personally. So
I got you. What about you, Dustin?
Man, I feel like I've already made it. At 18, if you'd have told me that I was still getting paid money to play music, I'd have told you you're crazy, dude. There's no way they're still gonna pay me to do that shit. And it's just, I just feel great. Me and my dad talk about it all the time, man. That old talk mini guitar I've drug around.
yeah,
I mean, it took
oh
me
yeah,
20 years. It took me 20 years to make $1 million with it, but that thing's probably made $1 million by now. You know,
wow,
and man, if you think about it in that light, and man, I've been to New York, I've been to California, I've played I don't know how many states, and my music has took me to every one of them.
yep,
And man, I feel like I have made it, and I'm grateful to get to do it again at another stage that lets me come spout my bullshit on the mic on, and you know. I'm grateful. I'm grateful for it. I really am, man. I grew up. My dad's a brick mason, and $600 was hard to come by. I mean, you worked your butt off for $600. And the first time I played T-Bone's bar, I brought home $600. And Dad's like, "Damn, that's a lot easier than laying brick. You ought to stick with that."
right. That's awesome. Oh, Stoner Rick.
So I feel grateful, man. And I feel like I have made it just
Awesome,
to get to
man.
do it again tomorrow, you know.
Right.
Well, and I know that both of you have had the chance to share stages with people that you listen to. You know what I mean? And I'm sure that is a huge compliment, and you know, just little milestone moments like that. I'm sure are a huge deal. I know Dustin's done, you know, opened up for we've talked about Hood, but also like Cody Canada and all these different folks, you know. And I'm Travis, I'm sure a lot of the same stuff for you. Just those little moments where you're around, you're in the circle, you know, with folks that you're like, damn, you know, I'm in the circle, you know,
Yeah.
those little moments. So, all right, well,
Yeah.
we'll get to some rapid fire questions. Dustin, is that something that Steve sent you? If not, I can roll through them.
What's that?
The rapid fire questions. That's all right. You don't
Yes.
have
Hang on a second.
to-
Wait a second. I got them saved right here in my.
Oh shit, he's prepared.
Videos.
He's
Or my-
prepared.
Well, kind of. Hang on just a second.
Understand.
There we
Hey,
go.
we're free, so you know I try to remind people that you get what you pay for, which is nothing. So you know, was an old line in
I
a
got
bowling
an email,
song.
but there's no rapid fire questions in it.
Oh, okay, that's all right. That's all right. If you think of one while we're rolling through it, you can ask something off the cuff. If not, I'll roll through a few. All right, but yeah, there's a line in a bowling song is you get what you pay for, and baby, I'm free. Like I love, you know, I love using that whenever I, you know, in these moments. So, all right, this is a Steve question. Travis, he always asks, what's your favorite chord? If you pick up a guitar, what's the first one that's going to get played most of the time?
Probably this D minor chord that I like. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
What was your first concert you ever went to? Period. And then what was the first concert that you paid your money to go see?
That's a good question. That second one. The first concert I ever saw was at Six Flags, and it was or some kind of amphitheater out there. It was Matchbox 20 and Train to Open.
That's
Train to
pretty-
Open. Yeah, it was their Drops of
pretty
Jupiter
solid.
tour. It was really cool. Yeah, and I'm a huge Matchbox fan, so
No
yeah,
doubt.
that was awesome. As far as one that I paid my own ticket, man, I mean, shit, it might have been Dustin Perkins at Smitty's, man. Seriously, that's when I first started going to concerts. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, they were definitely hometown shows. You know, it was something like that. Yeah, definitely hometown shows.
Gotcha.
First ticket sales for sure for me.
All right. If you started a podcast tomorrow, because I'm sure that's high on your list of things to do. Who's somebody who's somebody musically that you want to interview just to pick their not the clicks and not the views, but somebody you want to interview to pick their brain.
Oh, damn, that's a good question too. There's a lot that come to
I
mind.
understand.
I bet you can guess the first one that came to mind.
Chris Knight.
100%. That's exactly who came to mind.
Like, well, I tell
Yeah,
you.
you know, and I probably would just go. I would just go with that if he was cool with talking about his songs the whole time, because I would just dive into like every song, and I would want to know the stories, and I would want to know. You know, I would want him to like play all of his half-written songs that nobody's ever heard too. You know what I mean? Like I would want to. That's who I would pick. That'd be awesome. That'd be cool.
You probably want to talk about hunting the whole time, though.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Okay.
That would be great.
All right. All right. So, if you go to a Dustin Perkins show, are you going to wear a Dustin Perkins T-shirt to a Dustin Perkins show?
Probably not.
All right.
Probably not.
Understand. We're trying to change this narrative. So the reason
I
why
like
I
that
asked this, how do you feel when you see somebody wearing your merch at your show?
A little bummed out because they probably won't buy another T-shirt. They already have one. You know what I mean?
Well,
Like,
what if they
nah,
bought
no.
that T-shirt?
No, it's no. I'd be like, hell yeah, you came here to see me. That's cool. Thank you.
And you've probably seen me before, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's cool to see support in any fashion, man. You know, yeah, I dig it.
Have you either one of you guys have you been in a situation where you've seen your stuff out in the wild, unprovoked?
Oh yeah. That's a special moment.
Right.
I can only imagine. Like, hey, that's me on your shirt.
Yeah. Or that's me on the
shirt.
back glass of your car.
Right.
That's usually what it is.
Um,
And then you're
all
like,
right,
damn, did I put that there, or did they really put that? You know.
the street team. What, let's see. What's another one? If you could have dinner with any historical figure, who would come to mind for you? Who's one of the first folks that you want to sit down and have a dinner with, and what would
Rapid
you be
fire, so
eating?
I'm not going to think about it too much, but I'd probably
Yeah.
pick Napoleon.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. What are y'all gonna eat?
Probably red meat.
Fair. I mean,
Yeah.
you're in Texas. We're in Texas. You
Yeah.
can tell, right? All right. Well, before we get out of here, I want to make sure: is there anything coming down the line that everybody needs to know about as far as new music, shows, anything of that nature?
The last weekend in September is River Jam. I'm looking forward to that. New music comes out August 21, which is coming up. Got a song called Lightning that's coming out. Southeastern Home was a couple weeks ago. Got a couple more singles I'll kind of be trickling out throughout the year. So August 21, that's kind of the next thing I got.
Well,
new music coming out. So
I don't want to shortchange you on that. So let's talk about a little bit more about that music. That we're running a little bit long, but I want to make sure we talk about the new music. I should have hit that earlier. So you want to give us a little rundown as far as where that was recorded, or who you work with, or any of that kind of stuff? Some information on the album.
Yeah, Soundstage was the studio in Nashville. Matt Zavala was a producer, and then recorded it there, and then kind of came home and kind of finished it up here with Eric McKinney, working with Sean Fussell a little bit too on some stuff, and just kind of bringing her home here in Texas. Grateful to work with these people, man. It's been. Yeah, Wanderlust Studios is kind of Eric down there. He's mixing the songs, and kind of doing the press release and stuff, and kind of just giving some legs to the release. So
good deal. So y'all make sure you go, like I said earlier, make sure you go follow on wherever you're streaming music, and the socials of course, but also don't forget about where you're streaming music. Hit that follow button, and when artists like Travis or anybody else, especially in this independent world, ask you to pre-save a song or or share it with your music loving friends. I mean, there's a hell of a tribe of music, folks out there, and sharing these artists with them. You never know. I mean, it may click with them just as much as it clicked with you. And I know me personally, I can remember who shares music with me. You know what I mean? When I hear a Dustin Perkins song, it comes from Steve. When I hear a old school Tyler Childers song, I remember the guy that originally sent me the old school Tyler Childers song. I remember that stuff. So
absolutely,
we've all been there. But anyways, this is the last question. Do you remember the last question, Dustin? No.
Oh yes.
Okay. All right. We'll let you be the honorary last question asker. So fire away when you're ready.
All right. This is a very serious question. What is your absolute favorite Little Debbie snack?
Little Debbie snack. Oh man, I have to go back. Probably Twinkies. Is that Little Debbie's or at Hostess?
That's Hostess, but that's whatever.
Okay. Yeah, Little Debbie. What do they have? The Nutter Butters, maybe?
Little Nutty Buddies, yeah.
Okay, Nutty Buddies. Yeah. Those were cool.
All right.
I'm glad that serious question was saved for last, because that was the rest of my bandwidth I had for that one. That's all I got.
All right. Sounds good. All right, guys. I'm gonna say goodnight to everybody else. Y'all hang on for a minute. Like I said earlier, if you don't follow these guys on their socials and stuff, please make sure you do. Dustin Perkins over there, and all his stuff. He's every now and then he'll be playing some lives on the old Tickety Talk and meeting some new folks, and I've heard some covers that I've adapted because I heard him do them. I was like, well, shit, if he can do a Sheryl Crow, I'll try that too.
Yeah.
But no, it's just fun meeting everybody and picking up what they do. So, all right, guys, y'all have a good evening. We'll see y'all later.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right, TikTok.